There's care and there is support and there is speed and you are seen and loans move and loans close and there is communication and you're just a part of something where you know it matters.
Welcome to Powerhouse, where we interview the biggest names in housing and ask them about their strategy for growth. I'm Diego Sanchez, president of HousingWire, and my guest today is a special one. It's Haley Parker, the CMO at Fairway Home Mortgage. Haley, it's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, my friend. I am totally humbled, and I told you I was a little nervous. We always have great conversations, and then seconds before I'm jumping on this, I'm like, oh man, Diego, the podcast, here we go.
Well, you're going to be great. I love our conversations, and this will be just like another one that we have in person at one of our many events. So let's start out. Just tell us a little bit more about your role at Fairway.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, thank you very, very much for having me. Super grateful to be here. Even more humbled to truly be in this seat at Fairway. I've been in the industry for, this fall will be 25 years. And this fall also marks 11 years at Fairway. And so my role is Chief Marketing and Business Development Officer here at Fairway, and just leaning into making sure we are set up for success in today's modern mortgage world. I mean, one of the things I've been talking about a lot lately is, 2030 is right around the corner. And we have to be ready for what that looks like. Things, continue to evolve super fast every single day, not to mention when you look at it in a quarter or in a year, let alone 2030 coming up. So one of the things that, my role we're really, really focused on right now is brands, is making sure our originators have the tools to set them up for success, education, systems, efficiency, how we can continue to stay relevant, getting out into our local communities, partnered with everything going on, tech, speed, all that. So it's an interesting role. It's an interesting time to be in this role with so much going on in marketing and technology and brand, but it's an exciting place to play. And I also, about my role, lean really, really heavy into just community and connection, as it's vital for our business, recruiting, retention, our culture. You can't lean enough into the people and the people that make our business go around.
Yeah, when I think of you, I think connector for sure.
Oh,
you're somebody who, shows up at events and is, you're connecting with people, but you're also connecting other folks at those events, whether it benefits you right then or not. Is that part of the culture at Fairway? Are there a lot of connectors at that company?
Absolutely. I mean, I love that you said that about myself. I appreciate that. Passion by helping people is truly at the core of who I am. And I just feel like the more we can get to know people that we are doing business with or want to do business with, the better off we're going to be, as opposed to just like a quick cold handshake or hi, nice to meet you. It's like we really need to listen to the people that are in front of us and taking the time to network with those people. As the DMs and the messages, those are great ways to connect, 100%. But the power that comes from being in rooms and showing up, you can't put a price tag on that. And Fairway leads with that kind of mentality, top down, left, right, all the way across the board. I mean, we spend a lot of time and effort in getting together so we can continue to even network within our own organization. I mean, Steve is such an incredible leader in really bringing that community and the importance of getting face to face, when we are across the entire country, but huge efforts are made through our executive team, all the way through our sales leaders across the country, even into our branches, to really have a large emphasis on our people, connection, networking, and just getting to know each other, right? As opposed to just taking everybody for granted, if you will. We get so caught up in the business. It's really important to always stay connected to your teammates and to the industry and keep networking.
I frequently hear from industry executives that aren't at Fairway that Fairway is a really difficult IMB to recruit LOs from. And I imagine that ties back to the culture, but why do you think that is?
Culture, you said it, that is something like we all hold near and dear to our hearts here at Fairway. The culture is just a secret weapon, and it's hard to describe, and it's hard. I know a lot of my teammates would all agree with it. You can't quite explain what the culture, is in one word or a couple words. But one of the things that everybody would agree with is you can feel it. And that is because there's care, and there is support, and there is speed, and you are seen, and loans move, and loans close, and there is communication, and you're just a part of something where it matters. We pour into the culture of Fairway because, we all work really hard, and it matters where you spend your time and the people you spend your time with. And I think that is one of the reasons it is hard to recruit against Fairway. I mean, it's really cool to hear you say that is a perception out there, or that is a topic in a conversation. But these relationships, some of them at Fairway, they go way back. They're deep, and that's part of staying connected. Some of our sales leaders have been here for 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. Core exec team, executive members, same kind of longevity. And so when you have that longevity, I feel like you can always go further with people you've been working with for a long time. That trust has been built, and it continues to be there. And you really learn to understand what being a teammate is, and having teammates, and valuable ones at that. And those kind of partnerships, it's hard for people to walk away from, myself included. I love the people I get to work with here at Fairway. They are some of the best in class. They are so dang smart. They are so intelligent. And, we're all just moving at the same speed with the same culture at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I can really feel your energy and enthusiasm for the team in this conversation. It's pretty apparent to me in your smile and your body language. So you've been at Fairway for just under 11 years. Pretty soon it'll be your 11-year anniversary. And in that time, you've gone from a branch marketing lead to CMO, which is major evolution for your career at the company. What's the secret to your success over the past 11 years?
I wear my heart on my sleeve, Diego, and for sure it's my wife. For sure it's my kids. Definitely keeping those things very close to my heart. We all have goals, and just always wanting to lead by example for my kids and show them that, whatever you put your heart and soul into, and surround yourself with the right people, and, continue to make the right decisions day in and day out, even when it's not hard or not easy. But that is for sure a huge driving force for me. Another is, I just don't mean to sound silly or like a broken record, but I have felt so supported here. Truly, conversations have been had by, Julie Fry saying, Haley, dream as big as you can, as big as you want. What is it that you see? Working alongside John and Rick for over 12 years, even prior to coming to Fairway. We have such a blast together that is a huge piece of where I am today, because they have also always believed in me. And we just have this authenticity of like, why not? And Steve has always led with that too. Like, why not us? Why not you? Why not get after it? And I think it's the combination of the leadership, the belief, the support, and then, I got my own fire inside me of my why, and I saw opportunity, and knowing that this industry, whatever you put into it, you're totally going to get out of it. And not all industries are like that, right? Or the trajectory might be a really, really long one. Here at Fairway, it's been really cool that they believe in scale and they believe in growth. And that, I think, has attributed to being able to be in this seat today and, not being afraid to take chances and going after them and coming up with new ideas and vision. And when I have an idea, or the incredible team I support has an idea, we don't just say, probably not. It's supported, and one action leads to the next, that leads to the next, that leads to here we are today. And, we've continued to move the needle in the right direction. We have continued to, the volume and the growth and everything. One of the things we talk about a lot is just, proof over promise matters. And there's been a lot of proof of track record and the consistent daily habits that we've all been doing together that I think has led to this.
Yeah, Fairway's gotten big, and yet I'm hearing from you that it's still a pretty entrepreneurial environment.
Yeah,
which is amazing. To maintain that entrepreneurial spirit despite being one of the biggest IMBs. How do you think that happens?
Steve, Todd, Len, Joy, everybody, Paula, Scott, just across the board. I don't want to misspeak, but it remains a pretty flat organization. And so there's not all these layers to it. And so we're able to just keep that entrepreneurial spirit alive in giving everybody the tools and the resources to go as big as you want and to be as supported. And, and it's not just something that is talked about of, sure, let's try it, or you can do it with growth and support. But again, there's proof over promise. They have poured in to sales leaders, regions, and they have exploded. And so when somebody says they want to grow, we know how to help them do that. And I think that is a neat part. We're not just always putting everybody in a box. We love to meet them where they are. We're all humans at the end of the day, and individuality is huge. And I believe the leadership team has really poured into that. And I think that has helped create that entrepreneurial spirit, as opposed to like, this is the way it's done, and there's no exceptions.
So you recently led a pretty extensive rebranding process at Fairway. What was that process, and what was the why behind that project?
Yeah, man, what an exciting time. I mean, after 29 years, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation is now doing business as Fairway Home Mortgage. And I think when I just said that very full name and breaking it down to a simple name of Fairway Home Mortgage is as easy as the simplicity behind it. And, some other companies, a lot of companies have evolved and changed and shortened. And I think there was a little bit of that. We also have some incredible things coming up. The future for Fairway looks really, really exciting. And one of them is all things, home.com. We own the domain and have for a while. And there is an incredible home vision team that is behind putting together some incredible strategy around all roads leading home, Fairway Home Mortgage, and really excited about that. And the market too has been tough. I don't have to tell you that, Diego. And the rebrand just seems like the right time to just kind of keep people leaning in, keeping people involved, excited, like making mortgages fun. Like, we have to lean in to some excitement, as opposed to just like what has been happening year after year after year. It's tough. It's hard. And I believe Fairway Home Mortgage serves a purpose of, it wasn't just one reason, it was many reasons. And there's some incredible sales leaders that are pouring into this new initiative, this new role of how we're going to be rolling it out, from Kim Grimm to David Lazowski and Amy Slotnick and Linda Davidson, Austin Lahr, Brian Moran, the Woods brothers, Brad Jagu, Rick and John. I mean, there's a lot of communication and conversation, and it's been so cool to see the collaboration, for lack of better words. But it's all just this excitement and where are we going to be again in 2030? Where are we going to be in the next 5-10 years? How are we going to continue to stay relevant? How are we going to keep that same energy going? And the rebrand was kind of it just evolved. And that's what I love about Fairway is Steve can always read the room, the pulse, the energy. He knows. And he was like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's do it. And at our annual meeting in March, it was our first step into All Roads Lead Home, and excited to see what's going to come. And I know the short name is exciting too. A lot of us have been saying Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation for a long time. So that's fun too.
Yeah. As a marketer, I bet that's super exciting. And wow, what a domain name, home.com and Fairway Home Mortgage. What are those two things? Which of those two names signify to, your Fairway team members, to your customers, and to your competitors about how you plan to compete in the next couple of years?
Yeah. I mean, this industry can be super complicated, but at times answers can be super simple. And we are a place that makes home happen. Period. End of story. And we want our employees to feel that. We want our consumers to feel that. And, our competition to feel that too. And just that this is who we are, right? It's simple. We make home happen. And we know the power behind the stories of so many people that getting into a home, what it means for them. And there's people all across this country, incredible operational staff, top down, like that pour into making sure that people are achieving the dream of home ownership, or whatever home ownership means to that person. And for just the purpose of keeping things simple, we make home happen. And I think that is something that comes from every single person's heart here at Fairway. Servant leadership or servant hearts are at the core of who we are. And we just want to continue to make that happen for everybody.
I love that answer, and would love for you to put your marketing strategy hat on for a little bit, and let's talk through just a few highlights of how you plan to roll out that really simple concept. Let's say over the next 6 to 12 months. I mean, is it a big B2C advertising campaign? Is it, a massive LO recruitment initiative? Like, what are the aspects of this new marketing strategy that you're excited to talk about?
All the excitement, the vision that is happening right now amongst our leaders, our sales, operations, everybody. There's so many conversations around this next rollout. And it is exciting. And I don't want to speak too soon. And I do know I've talked to Clayton and I've talked to Jennifer, and John has, and Laz has. And, we're going to be getting to all of those things for what it means. But, we're going to continue to lean into our people. We're going to continue to lean into the people we serve. And we're going to continue to make the home buying process as simple as possible, as, efficient as possible, with a lot of great education around it. And, different ecosystems will be built. So everything will just be funneled and it will be easy. And this is a passion project of several people. So I don't want to just sit here and talk about it myself. I can't wait till more can share of what this is really going to mean. But we have been a really large company at certain points, right? I mean, we still are, but we are for sure leaning into making sure we have the best people here, making sure that we're not just saying yes for the sake of saying yes, and that is also like the concept behind everything that is to come with home.com, is making sure that we are set up for success to unveil where we're headed next. It's going to be really, really exciting.
So when you think about growth at Fairway as the CMO and the Chief Business Development Officer, what is your ideal balance between organic growth, where you are recruiting folks into the company, and M&A?
Organic growth, we love organic growth. And a lot happens around here with organic growth, right? Reputation, connections, relationships. Organic growth allows speed, allows us to move fast. That is a huge piece of who we are, because again, we don't just say yes because all of a sudden here's a really, on paper looks like it might be a great fit. But if it doesn't fit, the culture of Fairway, who we are here at Fairway Home Mortgage, we look into that, and we just don't say yes to absolutely everything. So I think it's a perfect balance, if you will, maybe a little bit more heavier on the organic side, because when it comes to M&A, it's exciting. We're super happy to have our new Hallmark friends with us and, open to new opportunities. And if the right thing comes across the table, then absolutely it's a yes. But Diego, when you're merging, it's like merging several lanes of traffic onto one highway, and everybody just has to keep going. And that takes, precision. It takes a lot of effort to get everybody moving onto a brand new highway together in lockstep. And that's something that we take into consideration a lot around here, because Steve continues to be fiercely protective of the people who are here, right? And making sure that everybody's getting the help they need first and foremost, before all of a sudden, just because a potential opportunity might be at our doorstep, if it's not going to serve everybody, and if it's going to make some people frustrated, or departments are going to get too stressed, and workloads are too heavy, and then all of a sudden, it takes us off kilter a little bit, we're not going to just say yes because the opportunity is knocking.
So sounds like you're going to be pretty opportunistic. Are there opportunities that are currently out there for you to look at?
There are opportunities, and there are conversations right now as we speak that are going on, but where they'll lead to, come to find out. But we do want to grow. We absolutely want to grow. We want to grow with the right people. And that's what we're so excited about right now. We've had several, if you will, boomerang employees come back as of late. They might have made a decision that was best for them and their family at the time. But, they've reached back out to different divisional leaders around the country, or branch managers, and saying, I want to come home. I want to come back to Fairway. And we're so happy when that happens. And that's like just the culture we want to continue to create here at Fairway. That we love growth. We love growth, especially when it's done in the right way with the right people. And, we continue to look for the right people. We want to continue to grow our Fairway family, no doubt about it. But we just want to spend a little extra time making sure that it's the right fit for everybody.
So I've really enjoyed this conversation, and it's only part one of HousingWire's conversation with Haley Parker and some of your closest colleagues. You, along with a couple other executives at Fairway, are going to be keynote speakers at HousingWire's upcoming IMB Summit. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's so exciting and humbling. I mean, I love this industry so much. I love you guys at HousingWire and all you do for all of us across the board. And to receive a phone call from Jennifer and Samantha and Clayton, and their idea about bringing John, Rick, and I to the stage in October to discuss how we were able to grow and scale was really cool to hear, for lack of better words. You know, we keep our heads down, we're grinding, we're doing things, we're leaning in, all this stuff. But to all of a sudden kind of be stopped in the tracks and hear Clayton's idea around pausing about growth and just sharing our journey over the last 11 years of how we were able to scale and how we were able to continue to do what we do, and also how we still love what we're doing and how we still love who we're working with and for. And so looking forward to the opportunity to share.
The thing I love about this story is the three of you have been working so closely and kind of growing up and evolving together over these 11 years and really building something pretty incredible, like with a lot of twists and turns along the way. A lot of
twists and turns, yeah.
And I just think the audience at the summit is going to be fascinated with that story.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, we've been working together far longer than 11 years. And I believe Rick was John's very first hire. And I met John many years ago at the previous company I used to work at. So it's wild. And then here we are, the last 11, and we just keep supporting each other and, you know, navigating family and friends and work and just all of it. You got to love who you work with. And I think that is a huge difference maker for the three of us.
Well, Haley, this has been a wonderful conversation. Great to catch up with you again. Thank you so much for joining me on Powerhouse.
You're very welcome. And by the way, Killer Summit, AI Summit, looking forward to the IMB. You guys are always crushing it. And the gathering was just out of this world. So appreciate all you do, my friend.
Thanks so much, Haley.
All right. Take care.